Fear is not the truth. Fear can only live in one place, in our thoughts about tomorrow. It's a belief created by our minds, something with no real existence, neither now nor ever. Danger may be real, but fear is our choice. Even without fear, we can face danger head-on. Presenting After Earth 2013, humanity was on the brink of destruction. The population grew so large that living on our own planet became nearly impossible. So a space company discovered a new world called Nova Prime. Earth was evacuated and the children of some humans settled on Nova Prime. But the threat never stopped. A war broke out between humans and aliens. Those aliens sent monstrous creatures to Nova Prime. Creatures designed for only one purpose: to kill humans. They became nearly impossible to defeat because they could sense human fear. The battle continued for years. 1,000 years earlier, a special unit called the United Rangers was formed, but they found no effective weapon to kill these beasts easily, as they had already wiped out millions. Then one day, everything changed. A new kind of warrior emerged, one who could fight without fear, striking back where others died. In truth, man had learned to control his fear, and by mastering it, he became invisible to the creatures, almost like a ghost. Slowly, the entire war shifted and humans began killing the beasts. That first invisible man was named Cypher Rage, and now he serves as a general. Now we move to the present. We see the planet Nova Prime, where young cadets were training. For the past 2 years, Kitai had been training to become a ranger, but he still wasn't chosen, and once again, he was told to apply next year. Kitai begged his commanding officer, "My father is returning from a mission after so many years. I need to tell him that I'm finally a ranger." But the officer felt Kitai still lacked something, so he refused. That same day, General Cypher returned home from a long mission. His wife, Faya, was happy to see him. Later that night at dinner, Cypher asked his son how his test went. Kitai, upset, replied that he wasn't made a ranger. They argued, and Cypher insisted Kitai was still young, and maybe next year he would earn it. Later, Faya tried to explain, "He's an emotional boy. He wants to be like you. Right now, he doesn't need a general, he needs a father." That night, Cypher decided to take Kitai on an expedition, where soldiers trained to fight Ursa on another planet. The next day, as they were leaving, a ranger approached and saluted Cypher Rage, saying, "On the battlefield, you saved me and 4 others. Because of you, I can see my daughter's face today." Watching this, Kitai became even more inspired by his father. The ship they were traveling on was also carrying an Ursa. Some rangers were being trained to become invisible. Cypher told Kitai to rest for a while, saying he was going to sleep too. Kitai fell asleep, and when he woke, his father was still resting. Kitai got up from his seat and went to look at the Ursa. A ranger tried to stop him, saying he wasn't allowed inside, but when he learned Kitai was the general's son, he stayed silent. Kitai wanted to see the Ursa up close, but he still hadn't learned to control his fear. As he stepped closer, the Ursa sensed it immediately. Kitai had carried this fear since childhood. When he was young, an Ursa attacked their home. Kitai survived, but his sister was killed. From that day, fear rooted itself deep in his heart. This was why he always failed his tests. He couldn't control his emotions. Meanwhile, Cypher woke up and sensed something. He placed his hand against the ship's wall, then went to get Kitai and spoke to the pilot. Cypher warned, "I feel something coming. A massive ion storm. We can't turn the ship. We might fly right into it. So we will not change course. We have to move on." Cypher added that he might be wrong, but a pilot asked, "Sir, how many times have you ever been wrong?" Suddenly, the ion storm slammed into them, trapping their ship in deadly turbulence. Cypher ordered the pilots to get them out of there at any cost. They needed permission to land on the nearest planet, but Cypher saw no other way. If he wanted to save lives, he had to land without authorization. The pilot engaged a wormhole and they escaped the storm, but the ship suffered external damage. A planet appeared in front of them, but it wasn't the one they expected. One pilot said the computer must have accidentally brought them here. The system warned, humans are not allowed on this planet. General Rage insisted they would not land, but the pilots argued they had no choice. The ship was too damaged, staying in space would tear it apart. Cypher ordered them to repair the vessel. He went to his son, who was terrified, trying to calm him down. Suddenly, the ship's rear section separated. Many passengers were sucked into the void of space. Moments later, the damaged ship crashed onto the planet's surface. When Kitai regained consciousness, he was still strapped in his seat, the only one unharmed. Everyone else was dead. He found his father unconscious, and fear twisted inside him. He waited anxiously, not knowing what to do or even where they were. When Cypher finally woke, the first thing he asked was, "Are you alright?" He called out for the other Rangers, but no one survived. Cypher sends Kitai up to the cockpit and tells him to find the planet box, the unit that can send a distress signal to Prime, but then gets grim news. The beacon is broken. Cypher himself is badly hurt. Both his legs are broken and he can't move. He checks Kitai medically. Kitai is fine, then explains, "About 100 kilometers from us, the ship's relay section fell. There's a working unit in it and we need it. If we can't get a signal to Prime, we'll both die on this planet." He tells Kitai that though their ship crashed here, humans left Earth centuries ago and no one lives on this world anymore. Its atmosphere isn't breathable for people. Life here has adapted into something else. Cypher gives Kitai a kit, medical supplies and oxygen inhalers because they can't breathe out in the open. These green inhalers last about 24 hours each, he says, so you've got 6 days of oxygen. Kitai is fitted with a special suit loaded with sensors and cameras. Cypher tells him, "I'll watch you and guide you. It'll feel like I'm right there with you." Kitai asks about the Ursa that was in the section. Cypher replies, "It's possible it was killed or badly wounded. It's impossible it survived." He steals his son, sends him on the mission, and when Kitai panics, Cypher calms him. "Get down on your knees, take it slow, and assess the environment." Kitai found new courage and followed the path his father had described. When he climbed a ridge, the audience sees Earth, empty of humans, ruled now by animals. A strangely beautiful scene that almost humbles human pride. Life here goes on without us. Back on the wrecked ship, Cypher rigs the surveillance to try and trace any survivor's signal, but he's badly injured, bleeding, and unable to move. Pain and bad blood supply cloud his vision as thoughts of his daughter haunt him, yet he refuses painkillers because he must stay alert for his son. Lost for a moment in a battlefield memory where his daughter once called him, Cypher is snapped back when Kitai's voice reports he's crossing a dense green forest and his suit's color is shifting. The suit's sensors change to match the environment. Then the computer pings. A living signal is moving straight toward Kitai. Cypher tells him, "Be ready," though he doesn't say what it might be. Up close, the thing turns out not to be an Ursa, but a huge, dangerous monkey. Cypher orders Kitai, "Don't move, do nothing," but terrified, Kitai suddenly throws a stone towards it, and the monkey lashes out, screaming loudly, which draws other monkeys to the spot. Kitai was so scared. This was no longer a world for humans. Cypher urged him to keep moving, and Kitai ran from the monkeys, sprinting until he reached a river. As soon as he jumped into the water, the monkeys gave up the chase, but he kept running, panic still gripping him. Cypher scolded him over the comms. "Your fear could get us both killed." Somehow, Kitai calmed down. Then the computer detected a change in his body. Cypher told him to monitor it closely. Looking at his hand, Kitai saw a poisonous insect stuck to it. He quickly removed it, but it had already bitten him. Cypher instructed him to take 2 antidote injections from the kit. The poison was spreading fast, blurring Kitai's vision, but following his father's orders, he managed the first injection. The second one was harder. His hands were numb and frozen. Cypher guided him. "Hold the syringe and let yourself fall to the ground." Kitai did exactly that and successfully administered the second dose. Near death, he survived. Cypher told him to rest right there for a few hours. Night was approaching and Kitai would need to find a warm spot because the temperature on this planet drops dangerously low after dark. Kitai had recovered enough that Cypher told him to use the inhalers, but when Kitai checked them, he saw 2 were broken. He didn't tell his father. For a moment, Cypher suspected by Kitai's heartbeat, but Kitai lied calmly. He grabbed the 2 working inhalers, headed for a warm spot, and Cypher's memories of his daughter Usha, killed by an Ursa, kept coming back. That night, Kitai asked, "How did you become invisible?" Cypher told him. He'd once been jogging alone when an Ursa attacked. He fell into a river and his blood glittered in the sun. For a moment, he stopped being afraid, and suddenly, the Ursa couldn't see him. "Fear isn't real," Cypher said. "Danger may be real, but fear is a choice." Those 5 or 6 days would be brutal for Kitai. He had to keep moving by day and find warmth at night because the temperature plummeted after dark. The next day, he found monkey corpses by the river, panicked, and hurried away until he reached a high ridge, where Cypher realized Kitai had lied. He only had 2 inhalers left, but would need at least 3 to reach the relay. The computer analyzed the route. Going down the mountain would take days and circling wasn't possible. The only quick option was to jump off the ridge toward his destination. For a moment, Cypher thought about calling off the mission and said, "Stop, Kitai, it ends here." But Kitai shouted back, "No, I can do this, I know I can." Cypher knew that if Kitai went recklessly, he could die. Memories flooded him, the day his sister was killed, and he had frozen in fear. Kitai accused, "You're stopping me because you don't trust me." Cypher felt helpless, realizing his own fear had shaped his caution. Then Kitai jumped off the ridge. His suit had wings for gliding, allowing him to navigate easily. But Cypher spotted something flying on the computer. "Kitai, get out of there now," he warned. Kitai turned and saw a massive bird swooping toward him. He tried to escape, but the bird grabbed him, and Cypher's connection to his son was lost. When Kitai regained consciousness, he was inside the bird's nest, surrounded by hatching chicks. The bird had brought him there thinking he was prey. Before he could escape, a lion attacked, drawn by the sounds of the chicks. As Kitai scrambled down, he realized he could no longer hear his father. The connection was gone. Alone in a cave that night, Kitai remembered his father's words and drew a map on the wall to help him find the relay section. Before, Cypher had guided him, but now Kitai had to find his way alone. Night passed, and he emerged from the cave, taking his last inhaler and preparing a small raft to continue along the river. Exhausted, he fell asleep, dreaming of his sister urging him to wake. He had slept too long. When he awoke, evening was approaching and the temperature was dropping. Weak from the cold, he began to lose consciousness, but something grabbed him and placed him on a branch. In the morning, Kitai realized the bird had saved his life. He continued through the forest, following the path his father had described, and finally came across the wreckage of the ship. Further along, he found the relay section. His inhalers were nearly gone, making it hard to breathe, but he found some in the relay section and took one. He went to check on the Ursa, but it had already fled, leaving him panicked. He tried contacting his father, who was now severely weakened. Kitai could hear his father's voice faintly, but Cypher could no longer hear him. He had lost a lot of blood and hadn't seen or spoken to Kitai for a day. Seeing his son alive and hearing his voice gave him relief, but the connections remained broken. Kitai tried to send a signal, but it wouldn't go through. Cypher saw on the computer that electrical activity from a nearby volcano had created a lightning layer in the sky, jamming the signal. Kitai had to reach a high point, but he couldn't hear his father's voice guiding him. Still, he tried to follow Cypher's instructions in his mind. As he climbed the mountain with the beacon, fear of the Ursa surged, yet the higher he went, the closer he got to sending the signal. Suddenly, he ran into Usha and tried to escape. The more he feared her, the sharper his instincts became. He finally reached a high spot, but before he could send the signal, the Ursa caught him. Cypher watched helplessly through the camera as Kitai was injured and lying on the ground. Remembering his father's lessons, Kitai looked at his own blood, steadied himself, and pushed fear aside. Focusing his energy, he grabbed his weapon and fought bravely. Cypher, seeing his daughter's courage mirrored in Kitai, couldn't believe it. His son destroyed the Ursa without fear and successfully sent the signal. Soon, reinforcements arrived to rescue him. As Kitai was carried to safety, Cypher saluted his son, proud and moved, just as he had once saluted his daughter. The disaster on this strange planet had brought father and son closer, and finally, Kitai proved himself. They were both safely brought home, and this marks the end of the story. We hope you enjoyed our explanation. Don't forget to like this video. You can share your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for more thrilling stories.